We've seen already a couple of matches, and of course Levadia played on Inferno lately or early against CEE. And let's see if they can somehow acknowledge this and maybe get another W on their account. Of course, the match is already on the way, and 4GLORY starting on the CT side. Well, Levadia chose to stay on the C side. Maybe not really chosen, as the Knives already decided their fate. We're gonna see a slow round, of course. No need to rush. Care about those picks, and Glock's gonna be deadly up close and personal. You guys see the smoke? Could be a bit of a stopper for the team of Estonia. A couple of smokes, a couple of flashes, and the Apps push is on the way. Now into the side comes few players, but Kindo, what was that? Just holding off all the enemies, but the bomb is still going around and trying to make its way towards the side. Still kind of wondering where they go. Levadia, I have the choice.
I mean, Kindo absolutely destroys that Apps waterfall there, but Vista does the same straight on back to him. Sweet revenge indeed. 2 versus 2 situation ensuing here now. Sikta in towards the pit. He swapped positions with the standard CT play, and he misses a lot of shots. This does give the CTs the opportunity to close him down, but he will find a headshot on towards Collins. Now the 1 versus 2 situation for D. He knows where one of these players is, and Sikta knows where D's head is. A gorgeous finisher there, and my goodness, what a back and forth pistol round. It starts so strongly for the CTs with a double mid-air headshot coming through from the man of Kindo himself, but it's not going to be enough. Great great cleanup there from Levadia.
Yeah, it feels bad that you get 2 picks already. You feel like the round is almost won. Just one more needed kill. But somehow it still turned around, and Levadia put that 2v3 in the aspect. And we can see already building up some strong pace. Banana control after the question for the Estonians. They've got the utility, but look at D. Not afraid to peek mid, and the scam really hits hard. Spirit now lays on the ground. Couple of the guns still in the hands of the Levadia, the Baltic state, one of the strongest teams in here. And of course, we've said 4GLORY, the Serbians won't be really taking any measures to keep it really low. They all have to play for the advancement already.
ZFX, unlucky, already down to a measly 2 points of health. Has to be careful here. And, well, one wrong step and he could actually die to a smoke grenade here. That's how low he is. But Levadia, they're keeping 4GLORY guessing here. They're really whittling down that clock, and I like this secondary boost here from Collins. He'll be sitting second oranges. Sereni, oh, he's going for a peek here with the Desert Eagle, crossing over towards CT, but the smoke clears not in his favor. Switcher doubles up on the Mac-10. A great flashbang comes over the top as well, and that will be the B-bomb site secured. And one thing I just have to interject with quickly, the Mac-10 propaganda skin, it is an absolutely gorgeous skin. As someone who's studying Russian history at university right now, it is, beautiful. But quickly coming back into the world of Counter-Strike, away from my obsession with shiny things, it is going to be a pretty convincing round for Levadia. 4GLORY, they get locked out of the B-bomb site by 2 excellent entry frags on the Mac-10, and Vista is looking to clean things up as well, not letting them escape with any armor, any weaponry, driving down that economy as much as possible.
Flyby for the execution. Now the post plant, quite a lucky thing to get a couple of more kills, but look at that, Vista goes for anything that he sees, and it feels like the prey is already down. And the bleeding of 4GLORY won't be stopping anytime soon, as they got no money. And I feel like those 2 Mac-10s, those they needed the play, and we've seen that it was only the small blow with the flashes in the smoke, as we've seen here. 2 opening frags, and no worries, Switcher already had it. 19 years old and plays for one of the best Estonian teams. And let's see Vista clean up the last 2 remaining players. Good stuff, and I feel that Estonia might be getting a hand, but HE again. That won't be a good sign for neither of those teams. Yet Levadia have the Kevlar to work it.
Oh my goodness. Switcher,
Merry
that is
Christmas.
Absolutely brutal. Merry Christmas indeed. As every single one of 4GLORY get absolutely brutalized with just far superior weaponry. But D does steal away a Mac-10. Unfortunately for him, it's not one of the rifles in play. But hey, he has gotten himself something. And if he plays his cards right here, he could turn this into a little bit of a cash cow. because SMG kill rewards a lot higher than that of the PT50, and in theory, a lot easier to get a kill with. However, he looks the wrong way as he peeks out of Boiler. Switcher is there, and down goes D. Third round on the board for Levadia, and it's looking pretty good for them.
Serps, I feel like they have something to ask themselves. How did they struggle so much? Why did they lose that much players in the few seconds of the round? But well, it seems that the utility might be the problems. At least we can see now that they fully bought anything that they've seen. We can see the orb even. It won't be with the diffuse kit, but at least one is on their side. Well, in the Czechoslovak scene, I've seen one match of well-known team Asuba. And the player named Rado, he didn't buy the fuse kit, and basically it cost him the round. I mean, it was even overtime. He had the money, but he didn't buy the kit. And since then, many people say, "Don't be a loser, buy the fuser."
Yeah, that's been a pretty common trope throughout history, but my goodness me, Switch with a huge jumping double. Great flash assist from ZFX, but just incredible entries there. That has effectively secured the entire round here for Levadia off the back of just those two openers. And, well, no propaganda required. Levadia, they should have all the people cheering in their court right now as 4GLORY forced all the way back towards the A-bomb site to save over their more valuable investments of the AWP, 201Ss, and Kevlar spattered across the board. But Levadia, they don't care. If they have extra money, they know they can afford to go and hunt here. And look at this encroaching onto the A-bomb site. We got players coming in from all sides, and they are not pushing one by one. They're pushing as a unit. Kindo's in a very tough spot here, and this could potentially result in a loss of all of their attempted save weaponry. D does eventually deal with ZFX. Flashbang over the top. Vista pushing on in, and look at these CTs scrambling to reposition. Switcher with his third huge frag in the round is looking for even more blood. The CTs, though, they do steal away a single frag of their own as Sikta goes down, but my goodness, what a round from Levadia.
I just feel like they are basically bulldozing anything that 4GLORY put out. 2K entry for Switcher, not his first, not his last. And of course, it will be the 4 on the board. Oh, from the Serbian setup. And I feel like this is something so illegal. He had to have some impression and some experience from Vegas Trigadon, as we've seen the match and of course running up matches on the major a few years ago. But let's see. MP9 in the play. Collins tries to answer back. It seems that a second breath for 4GLORY. Finally, their first open since the pistol. Yeah, it's been a while, but it feels that Levadia probably can also play in those less of a player situations. And we've seen 45 for them. Might be happening even in this round. Banana control could be really taken fast. And we see only one player, and it's going to be Sereni holding the bomb site alone.
Yeah, that is going to force ZFX forward, though. Oh, narrowly misses that timing. But as Sereni's the only player on this B bomb site, he's been pushed down by 3. This is getting a bit dangerous, but I'm glad that D does come in through CT. This evened things up quite nicely. Spur, though, on the rear flank. This could be very dangerous, and Spur's going to catch Collins. Sereni, in the meantime, has to deal with 2 in towards Pool. The Molotov rains on down. The rest of the T's are coming up Banana. And, well, look at this rear flank. That's not Banana. Spurs coming through CT spawn. But wait, Vistas has gone and killed Sikta. Oh, my goodness. D's found Spur. I don't even know what's happening in this round anymore. The bomb, it has eventually gone down against the odds. Vista now trapped in the corner behind a Molotov. Gets taken down by the Orper of D. And, my goodness, ZFX last alive. One versus 3. Peeks on out. AVN catches him. And what have I just witnessed in round number 5?
That should have been the round for Estonians, but it seems like it got out of hand really quickly, as we've seen the team kill of Levadia. That ain't something you want to see, and of course then a bit of a chaos in the ruins, as the orb was still in play, and D with that nasty shot with the orb. Hopefully gonna see the replay, but here we are, banana control up first. I mean, I thought like the side is already lost, but look at that, up close and personal, no scope, and 10 quick scope with a headshot. Great stuff.
No, D pretty much secures that round. I mean, Collins' kill on Banana was incredibly valuable, but D's quick thinking, fast reactions to land that AWP headshot on the man pushing in towards Church. Yeah, great stuff there from the defense. However, AVN... Damn, I did not expect that kill to go in the way of Spur. That was really clean. And now, another man advantage gain for the Estonian squad. What can they make do with this one as they look again to have a
Wait.
very interesting default?
They are running into the stack. What a play though from Collins. Flushed out, tries to at least make some space, make some engine working, but it feels like he doesn't even need to. The nades are going strong, and the A side was left alone to one player. Now stands still with 2 more to come. And it feels like they are already exposed, they are already into the small tunnels of the A side. Let's see Serenity though. In the corner, stuck, hiding around, playing with the info. Sprays only for the one. A Spur reacts quickly, and it feels like the round could be still going on to the side of Levadia. The gap is there. Yeah, there might be a boost from the Balkan State. Nevis is up, and now not again. The openess, what they needed. It happened for Glory, take the second. But it feels like Levadia with a great start. Of course, the liftoff was there with fast entries, with playing slow. And now they somehow struggled to even get to the site. And even though they had the advantage, and they've seen that there was a 3-man stack towards B, they've still gone B and lost everyone that was there. What was the call?
Yeah, I mean, Levadia, admittedly, it's a decent feat for them to put 4 rounds on the board in a row. But, you know, they had a great retaliation in the pistol round. The second and third were just a bit disappointing from 4GLORY. The fact they do win out number 6. Oh, okay, just hold that thought for a second. No. What the heck is going on here? Serenity, what is going to... Oh, my goodness, again! A man facing backwards through the smoke, fully blinded, no idea where he is, will be taken down by one of the banana players. They both fall away now. Bombstill and T-Spawn. Levadia are scrambling. It's an absolute mess. They've got nobody to trade. And they're just playing off their default again. They're not being adaptive enough to 4GLORY's just random spouts of aggression. And also, they've not successfully taken banana for the past couple of rounds. And that's just off the back of it. Seems 4GLORY slowly waking themselves up. And I say they haven't taken banana in the past couple of rounds. I do mean immediately. They were able to take it to get that bomb plant, but they weren't able to hold on to the site in the post plant. And that's where it really came down to things. Back to a 4v4 here. Avon down to 48, still dancing around the hay bales for the time being. And 4GLORY will be gamble stacking A, rotating both players over to the site. And I have no idea what the indication for this is, as the bomb has not been spotted yet. And it's actually going to be Levadia walking back up banana towards B. Oh no.
That can't be happening. Only Collins can I realize, yeah, guys, we might be in the trouble, but the bloodbath is already coming. The smoke probably won't be enough, and he needs to rotate and rotate towards the roost area. Maybe the smoke is gonna pop off, but of course Vista, as we know, he ain't afraid to get those frags on the board. And one of the first, maybe not the last, Saradi trying his luck into the smoke. Yet it feels like the call was already there. Left the B-bomb side now. And Levadia up on the 5th point. But it feels like, again, it was kind of messy. First, they wanted to get towards the A side, hit there. Like, no worries, they've had the game plan. But somehow, it was 4GLORY that already somehow lost the sense of the round. And it feels like they need to install their GPS as B something that they have a niche in.
Well, as much as I still think 4GLORY are the stronger team here, Levadia have been far better at adapting to the situation at hand. Like, and I love their decision to run down the saving CTs in round number 4, I believe it was. Yeah, round number 4, when they... No, sorry, yeah, I know what I'm talking about, don't you worry. They just steal away another one of those weapons, just so valuable in the economic damage. Unfortunately, they aren't able to capitalize on it. The MP9s do overpower them in the following round, but into that previous round as well, they're just adaptivity. It's really impressive to see, and against a higher ranked opponent globally, and just a more recognized one. Recognition sometimes comes with its scars, but so do Avon and Spur. Both of them are having rather large chest-sized cavities as the AWP bullets shred through them. Serenity will trade things back. ZFX goes down now, a 4v3 for the CT side, and this is their chance to put that crucial third on the board, make that 3-round gap a little bit less extenuated.
Bruised up Estonians still heading towards the A side to try their luck. Couple of smokes on them. And of course, we can see only 2 or 3 players down in the middle. There's no worries to Serenity. He can still rotate, but no info on their side. 4GLORY hoping and waiting that someone comes into the sack. But let's see if they can find Kaindo. He's got a great spot. He doesn't need to be flashed. That's all he hopes for. Now just a double peek. Maybe one, maybe two. Get it ball down.
Yes.
But of course, he holds still. The Spartan holds the goals. And it feels like there's might be over. The fate has been decided. 4GLORY stands still. Kaindo already on 5 kills. Great hold from him. And hopefully 4GLORY can recover. As we've seen a bit of a messy plays from Levadia. It feels like they are losing the confidence. And the openers are always going to the CT side.
Also, that was the first time Kindo's put a kill on the board since the pistol round, so that's going to put a lot of confidence to him. He gets a 3k after not finding a single frag in any other round outside the first. I mean, I know for sure that would get my blood pumping, get the adrenaline running. And Serini getting his own adrenaline running as he risks his life for information down on Banana. Some lovely nades onto Switcher as well. And a follow-up Molotov means, again, 4GLORY retain that Banana control. They're able to fall back without too much of a fight. And with that man advantage safely secured, ZFX is going 0-7 right now, which is not fantastic. But, well, it's pretty good for 4GLORY. They're enjoying the easier time of it as a result of ZFX's poor play.
Sometimes I feel like the agent status when you get 007, that's going to mean in CS matches, you still have the smokes, you still have utility, and even trade, at least assist your team. And it still might feel a bit uncomfortable for you as you see the KD, but it's not everything that you really have to hope for that you can recover. Of course, one round, and you might even clutch 1v5. It is up to the situation, and of course, the smiles on the face of both teams. They come into the 9th round. Last 35 seconds, and a hit must become the reality. You see Levadia stacked up, and Estonians must hit this. There is no turning back. They decided, and Kaindo up on the apartment's balcony. This might be really brutal, but see if he can at least pick a few more frags. But he goes into the smoke and leaves the side open. On a wallbang, but now the info is given. And intel is after the retake. At least this is something that the 4GLORY might be going into it. 4v5. Now 3v5, and the op is already down. D-Trade, and only 2 of them. 6 down Spur might be in a bit of a trouble. Though standing around the short area, creeping around, looking for the kills. Might be enough, but might be not. At least Spur still attempts and risks his life. 1v2 for him.
Oh, but the bomb's not planted for him, and he knows this. So all he can do is sit back and wait, hope someone comes into the swing, but it's never going to happen. 4GLORY, they pick up their 4th on the board. And I might say, brilliant Molotov from D. Not only does it find a kill, but it also forces another player into the open where his 2 teammates capitalize immediately. Just great teamwork, great retake. And also the fact that they don't let things slip away from themselves as they push around towards the short side. They don't over-aggress and just get that bomb defusal in. All in all, a brilliant round for 4GLORY. Although a little bit of a messy one from Kaindo up in the apartments, pre-firing a plank of wood.
Maybe he was seeing ghosts of his enemies, but the ghosts are already for Spur as he's down and the only player with the op. So that could be handy if he could save it or give it to his teammates. They can't really sleep in this round, even though they have the lead. They might even lose it now. Just a couple of Deagles and Tech9 up on the mid, but D, with the sniper rifle, his green gun, already attempts and focuses on one of them. Del Vista might be up to something, hiding in the corners, looking for the headshots, but it feels like Avon and Kaindo might really hold this tough. And won't be letting anyone in. The cards are up.
This is going to be it, and that's a flawless round from 4GLORY. Their economy is going to be singing their praises all day long. And on the flip side, it's Levadia who are struggling. They are probably going to have to skimp on a little bit of util on a few players, or not. They are dropping some over. But yeah, an AWP would be an ambitious buy here. It would have to be on Spur with no armor. Another thing in that round, though, the AWP goes for a terrible slow peek in towards middle. And when I say the AWP, of course, their normal AWP had already perished earlier on. Great spray from ABN as well. But yeah, ZFX, he just shift walks straight into the crosshairs of an AWP, completely dry, no backup, no trade potential. When realistically, you should be sending the pistols in first, playing off the back of them, trying to create space with the people who don't have much, and just following up with the AWP. it's an interesting and terrible, frankly, decision there from ZFX and Levadia as a whole. It's very disjointed. They're starting to really crumble, crack at the seams, and for Glory are capitalizing on every moment of it they can. Already a huge resurgence from them, an equalized scoreline, and they're looking to continue this even more with a crossfire in towards middle. AVN finds one, not the second. ZFX with his first kill on the board will deny the spray down, but Collins is there, and he only gets one as well. And then D catches one more off guard. Serini as well, saucily in the backlines of the CT spawn behind the archers. He's just ZFX, the man who's had a very underwhelming performance so far in the 1v3.
But the bombers are still on his back. He might even get the entry, but Kendo around the apps he walks, and he kills anyone that comes into his way. First time the 4GLORY are up into the point and up onto the lead. It's already 6 on their side as we see the tactical timeout. Just doesn't feel like Levadia are in touch with reality as they try to open. And I must count like how many times 4GLORY could get multi kills. It's like 3 or 4 times that anyone from their team could even go for like a highlight play, but the players just didn't line up and the stars weren't aligned.
Yeah, but one thing I do respect though is the fact that they do take that tactical timeout, because it is important to first of all break the momentum of the enemy team. Look at the score there. 6 rounds on the board for GLORY, 4 of those being in a row, and I'm not even mad at Levadia for calling a second tactical timeout here. Not only do you want to break the opposition's momentum, you want to give yourselves enough time to cool off. After a couple of dodgy plays, no doubt there's going to be a little bit of tension amongst the team right here. They just need to sort this out amongst themselves, just cool off for a second and reevaluate what they were doing earlier that was working so well and how they're able to implement an advised strategy of it here and now. For GLORY, they're somewhat expecting everything Levadia is throwing them right now, and they're also beginning to out-aim them. Levadia, great start, rocky middle. How will the finish of the first half go?
There might be 2 that are still in need. Could be the Mach 10s again. Switcher was great with him at the banana, and of course the A side when they are running around. And
yeah,
of course the enemy didn't have the Kevlar. Yeah,
Switcher's not had a kill in 6 rounds.
Oh, that might be the issue. But let's see if T gets the first. Okay, Spirit Legion, sirs. Wow. Good shot.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great shot, but what can the Chill Beretta Deagle lineup doing towards the apartments here? Kendo seems to think something's up. Oh, that's risky! Kendo, oh no! Goes down to the Chill Berettas now. The Apps Waterfall, just like the piston round, comes through again. Serini full blinded. The smoke's got a huge gap, though, and that could be a problem. AVN back Spur, and now the 3v3 for the retake. They've just got the pistols on... Well, Switcher is the exception there with an AK in tow. Very low on health now, though. Serini is well equally as low, but he has an AWP, and that at least makes up for something. Smoke's raining on down, and for GLORY, they've been locked out of this bomb site. Levadia, with just the pistols, they may actually have done enough to have secured the round here. Or perhaps not. Oh, goodness me, Serini. And saucy no-scope to finish the deal. And that'll be a 7th on the board for GLORY. And they only lose 2 players in the process. So as much as that's a decent round for Levadia, that's actually not even a worst-case scenario for GLORY either on the retake. 5 in a row now. And they have crumbled Levadia's momentum. Just as Switcher crumbles the face of Kindo with his dual Berettas.
Ain't that big of a problem, as they had the eco. Their only goal in there was get the bomb plant, and that's kind of still what they achieved. The important thing is, as they gone into the second round, where they finally get the guns after their losing streak, and let's see if Collins already up on the second middle, flanks and lurks and kills and demolishes anyone. But it feels like that was really something they didn't expect, and Levadia already working with something less than they expected. No entries on their side so far. And
I mean, that was an excellent flashbang from Serini as well to set up his teammate Collins for the mid push. And without that flashbang, things would have gone considerably differently there. It lands perfectly, blinding 3 players at once. It's only thanks to the fact ZFX can recover just in the nick of time to save himself from going down. Is that not even worse of a play from Collins? But I'll let you take over for this bit.
No way that he wanted it. Sereni, alone, already in the cold ground. And for his teammates to do something. The job is on their hands. And we can see 3v3. Couple of smokes. And the M4s, of course, they had the buff. But against the AKs, they are still not one and the same. Only 2 nades. Waiting alone. And along the retake. Well, he pushes out
tick damage. They know exactly where Sikta is now as they slowly push on in, but they don't check the corner for ZFX. AVN, no, AVN's going to double up, and oh my goodness, they've done it again! I don't know how they keep pulling off these retakes, but my goodness, are these 4GLORY players aim gods. AVN especially, he has been absolutely crucial in the retake role. So many impactful frags, and D as well on the AWP. I mean, the name rhymes, it's a perfect fit. The big green causing big havoc for this Levadia squad. And off the back of Colin's entry as well, as much as that round could have gone significantly better for 4GLORY, they cling on again and again. And an overextension peak there from the last Levadia player alive will give up the free final frag required for the retake to be completed.
I'll add up something, at least to spice it up and digress. If we see these two teams, not many players pop in the heads of people that are from these countries. So Levadia is from Estonia, so we have Robs in there. He's playing for Mouse Sports, and 4GLORY, they have Emi in Fun Plus Phoenix kind of on the rise. And a couple of last days, and of course we have Stiko in there, so a big fan of his. He's the born Slovak man, ready to attack. But of course, these two teams are something of a difference and a bit lower than maybe their respective teammates. But let's see what they can figure out in the 14th round. Of course, the half is already decided for the cities. Let's see how much they can predict and absent it. But it feels like the switcher is already up and someone turned him on. Hop on the backside and it's clear as a sunny day.
I'm glad that Switch is back to his entering ways. He took a very long time off there. He really struggled to get anything done, and that is a beautiful bait and switch. Vista gets away with 2 in that scenario, leaving just Kindo in a 1v4. The economy is still great on the CT side. Every kill he can get onto a T player here is crucial to damaging their economy further, but instead Vista swings on in. He's back for more. He's back for a 3k. And while so far this has been a relatively poor performance from Vista this game, that round was crucial and he got some very, very nice frags. Moving on to the final round of the first half here. Before we do, but let's have a quick look at Switch's double entries. Great realignment of the crosshair, and Vista, look at that saucy 2k spray down. And just to wrap it up, another excellent kill onto the CT side. But with it being the last round of the half, 4GLORY, they will be investing absolutely everything they had, which is why I suggested they do go on a bit of a hunt, because the T-side economy wouldn't have been able to have held up as well if they'd taken any more than 2 further casualties. As we head into 1 minute 30 left on the clock, Kindo's decided to switch things up in apartments a little bit. He's gone close to the settee. He's gone close to balcony room. But is that going to change things for him? Oh, the timing could be interesting here. Sikta goes down, and that's a sneaky kill from Kindo.
Grateful for any open. That's probably 4GLORY's mind now. As they, again, might be getting a little trip from Levadia. Couple of smoke, couple of nades that could be really upending their chances to the next round. Of course, they need to go a bit closer, a bit more balanced match in Levadia and 4GLORY. That could be the 7th round on the board of Estonians. They, though, have the challenge. They need to get to the B-bomb site. The smoke is out, the AWP is in, and D again flashes and flanks and kills anyone that is standing in the way. Though ZFX around the smoke. Sereni really tough spot, but he needs to hold. He needs to play. I don't know how he's still alive. No one still checked him. No one notices. And the bomb is up there. He has ZFX for free, but he just...
Oh no.
And still is alive. But the ball is a reinforcement. And we see AVN ending up the half. But still, it feels like the B heights are something that Levadia really not really comfort with. And still could be tripping them later in the half. Now we are switching on to the second.
So, if I'm correct, they only successfully got. In fact, no, I don't think they actually ever got a successful B round outside of the initial four. So, yeah,
No,
that's a
probably.
real struggle point for Levadia there. Now, heading onto the T side for Glory, it's going to be interesting to see how adaptable they are after having a long, dry stint on their T side, where they really just weren't able to read their opponents. Now, Switcher early on gets great information. There's a lot of players at second mid, and his teammates will be adapting to this fact. Mr. finds the first switch as ZFX and Spur a frag apiece. Will we be seeing a team ace here? As Kindo is trapped down at the bottom of the stairs. Flashbang comes on in. He's okay.
Gracious.
Interesting methodology there. Charges in, will go down, and that is a gorgeous round to start things off for Levadia.
Someone's snitching, because this thing around apartments ain't something that many people usually do. Of course, the CDs like to play more for the long angles and play in the alleyways, but it feels like the apartments were totally fine for now. And there was probably, of course, the idea like, okay, if we don't get this round, we have rolled it over. And it feels like 4GLORY, that defeated Martin, that played against Isaac Boris, they kinda could be still getting out of shape. And ending up against Levadia and their MP9 up on mid. Spur could be the op. Could be good with the SMGs. Peek is up, but a couple of frags for him at least. Collins though reacts quickly and the Deagle up in the hand. Also up into the points with the players alive. 3-on-3 situation. MP9 up there, but Collins still struggling and still hits. I don't know how the hell is he that good, but I breakfast and dinner wearing something really that usual.
Yeah, Collins has been instrumental. He's been the one-man army taking this round to making it even a possibility of success for the side of 4GLORY. For ZFX and Switcher, they tag team. They destroy two of the remaining players on 4GLORY. Now it's all down to Collins. He's going to have to ace this round. Already 4 kills to his name. Sees the last player. He's dancing around. It's a dangerous game with the diffuser being stuck. Oh no, Collins has someone fortunate. No, it was almost the ace. Everything on the shoulders of this one man with ZFX with 4 HP steals away a defuse and kills Colin for good measure. Oh my goodness, that man's entries were insane and just that final frag was required. Should have switched back to the MP9 for the spray down, but Colin, valiant effort, my friend. That is not something I'll be forgetting, at least for the rest of this tournament.
Strong play from Collins as we got him the 4K. Maybe he's a Nico himself, maybe a second cousin of his, because we know he's got Hunter as a cousin. But this feels like the performance is something out of their family, and maybe it runs in Serbia. Hopefully we'll see some more of the talents. Yeah, sure. Maybe he could be in the family. You know, like a mafia. But that's a different story. Let's see what they can ride up with the Deagles again. Could be enough, but could be not, as we see already 2 opens. But Kindo tries to impress as well. Getting 1 D onto the A side. Spur again around the mids. He feels great here. He feels at home, but the bomb is kind of walking around, and D could be still in a bit of a plan for going to save this to recover the round. Kindo though, the Deagle is off, but luckily this one connects, and 2v2 again is the pistols, and this could be Levadia's problem.
Oh my goodness. Kindo bags another headshot. Switcher goes down. ZFX 1v2 retake. He has an AK. He has the opportunity. He was the man to clutch it last time. He needs to isolate these 1v1s. He can't afford to get crossfired here. He does see the head of D. D almost takes off the head of ZFX. He's firing frantically towards both angles. Surely by now it's going to get too much for him. And Kindo, what a huge round. 2 back-to-back 4Ks of incredible individual performances here for 4GLORY. It will be enough to catapult them over the line in that second engagement. And I was actually going to talk a heartfelt piece about perhaps I'd underestimated Levadia, and then they lose to just such weak buys and just allow such incredible individual plays to even take flight, and I'm immediately a little bit hesitant again. But no, they have been performing a lot better than I've expected, but in those last 2 rounds, they really screwed themselves over.
What an impact. Of course, they, as a 4GLORY, had the tough match against B8. this could be another test for them, as they still can advance. And the chances are up here. Sick them with a happy impression. Though many nades, many people running into his sight. The smoke is up there, maybe the gap, maybe the kill. Quite possible. Now a couple more of them coming up. And 4GLORY, still guns drawn. But the bomb isn't really up in the spot just now. Getting the bomb blunt. But the Deagles, 5-7 in the scout, still could be the great instrument for Levadia to come back into the round and steal it away. Steal the flame and steal the sight of their opponents. A couple of them
for Glory,
still looking around. Ooh.
Oh, they've got a very tight lockdown there. Look at Kindo. Kindo's a madman right now on the start of the second half.
Yeah.
And as well, 4GLORY deny any gun pickups there for Levadia. They hide all the AKs away by either picking them up or chucking them mid-sight, so they'd have to full commit to a retake to save them. But ZFX has full Kevlar, and Vista has Kevlar as well. This is something they're going to want to keep into the next one, as AVN is clearly angry at the flowers. 4GLORY, they will extend their lead back to 3 as we head into the 20th. It's still a close game, but the 4GLORY squad is just pulling ahead.
I'm kind of interested. What about you guys and girls in chat? If you have anyone favorite, then you can show that really support. As we see, this is the knockout match, or basically advanced match. So if anyone wins, he advances already into playoffs. The first one that would be doing so. And the other chance would be in the second match, where there is a waiting Croatian team ready to fulfill their dream, and as a mix, get into the playoffs. But there's still 4GLORY clearing the space around B, and Levadia let them in. The gates open, and there's gonna be a flooding of banana, couple of pistols, and one flash. There's gonna be the orchestra around in a symphony. Kindo though, not much to show. And there is D, one by one, peeking, and 5-7 still going for and needed kills. Economical damage could be done. One spray into the smoke, one kill. Serini though sprays them down, and it's already free for him. He needs to just clean up this, run to the last guy, but he doesn't even need to. Glory taking the spotlight. And more rounds coming. The strong performances of the individual players. Something that 4GLORY needed. And of course, it's a sweet point for them after the defeat of, or being defeated by B8.
I mean, incredible spray down there as well from Serini. Really good flicking across. And as much as the majority of his frags in this game have, unfortunately, been eco frags, those were some very important ones to find. He shuts down the push. He forces them away from the dropped weaponry. And yeah, just keeps it clean towards the end. Admittedly, Levadia probably got a few too many kills on Banana, more than they should have. But 4GLORY still have extended their lead to 4. And at this 12-8 scoreline, they look to continue to be a menacing foe for this Levadia side. As Serini, he gets aggressive at Banana on a bit of a solo project, but quickly forced out as he's sitting quite nervously, perhaps, on 5 HP.
Dancing Bullet. I think he was such an artist back in the day. We'll see if he stays on his heels for a few more seconds. Preparation for 4GLORY. They've played against Sinners, they've played against Fiend, so Levadia shouldn't be that tough of an opponent. But Levadia played against the Ninjas, and of course Sacramento had already advanced in the other group. Switcher up on the boost and up onto the next kill. Hopefully we're coming his way, as the AWP is his buddy on the other side. Spur holds still. And 4GLORY in an uneventful situation.
Well, that's a nice kill from Spur, though. AVN trades it back. AVN seems to be the trade master here. AVN is the merchant of Counter-Strike. He'll trade any goods that you have to offer him. But Spur... yeah, Spur takes no prisoners as Serini will fall, and AVN is left in a bit of a precarious predicament. He will find a lovely headshot onto Switcher. Can he find one onto the AWP as well? Spur frantically peeking up above these barrels, has now spotted AVN, and it's a great swing into him. Cheeky little crouch peek round the column, and that will be a 12-9 scoreline. 3 rounds separate these two teams, and we are still in with a very closely contested game.
Maybe a cup of tea would be handy for 4GLORY. Quite a successful round, as we've seen already up here, the boost from Switcher. Kind of a neat spot, as we've seen after a long time that people try to boost up on the smokes. Even like up on the mid, if you're an AWPer, just go for a peek over the smoke, you can boost up here on top mid and use it. So basically any place here could be a boost. And I always feel like if you're shooting to the smoke, you always miss, but the enemy always hits you. I don't know if that's a paradox or it's...
Well, it's all about the tracer rounds, isn't it? Because if you have any weapon other than the A1S, you're going to leave a couple of tracer rounds that fly through that smoke, and it will eventually give up where you're shooting from. And if you're close enough to get an accurate audio cue, you can just fire right back at where roughly that player is standing. And, I mean, if you're in a lower rank, no doubt someone will be like, no, he's hacking, man. But no, when you get to a higher rank, you do tend to pick up on these things a bit more easily. And if you do invest into a decent headset, which is something I recommend you do, because I was playing on a terrible headset for about 3 years, it makes life so much easier. And I can tell my ones at the moment are broken because I've been given a lot of fake call-outs recently because I keep hearing people where they don't exist. But Kindo clearly doesn't. So he gets a nice opening frag onto Spur, spurring his side on to not only a man advantage, but hopefully to a round on the board as well.
You've been talking about a fixed audio. Just a couple of days ago, there was an update where they finally fixed the water within the overpass and ancient and in the map wastewater. So at least whilst doing something, it's that operation. Well. Yeah. Basically, anywhere there's water.
To be fair to Valve, they have done some pretty cool things with this update. I think the Deagle definitely did need a nerf, as much as I don't enjoy it personally. And I also think the A1S needed a buff. Perhaps not quite this much of a buff. I think probably more changes will have to be done on that. Also, great utility there from 4GLORY. Look at the way they push Switcher all the way back. And they take full advantage of that post-plant situation once again. Their post-plants on B have been so much stronger than Levadia's, just to a menacing degree. And ZFX, he will catch Kindo off guard at long last, but it will be calling straight onto the head of Vista, meaning the bomb timer will be expending before the retake can come in, but still they throw bodies at it. ZFX will fall as well. Switcher, Sicta, they do catch one extra, but look at that from AVN and Serini. Beautifully done. 13-9 now for 4GLORY. And my prediction of a 16-11, 16-12 looking pretty on track right now. And yeah, good stuff from 4GLORY. Great fight from Levadia, but it's not been enough just yet.
Wouldn't it be surprising if 4GLORY now just gonna a 3-round leading way and into the 16 points. But we'll see if Levadia tries to impress and maybe impersonate the skillful comeback. The other thing is, I've tried to predict the last match and somehow cursed B8 and they've lost the match. So I'll try not to predict. If anyone in chat has any idea how this match is going to end up, what's going to be the scoreline, or who's going to be the winner or the best fragger, don't mind and tell us. We are really not secretive people, so we'll be glad if you share with us some info.
No, I am one of the most cursed casters in the business. I'll have you know, my goodness, Spur and ZFX on the pistols, causing absolute mania on the A bomb site. It's a good grenade onto Spur, but it's not going to be enough to pull back the man advantage. They're still at uneven numbers. The pistols are completely... Oh, well, now with an AK-47 on Spur, I'm completely wrecking the day of these poor 4GLORY members. Collins catches Switcher off guard, but it's still a 3v3. Spur still has a decent amount of health and a very menacing rifle in his hands. And the bomb is dropped in pit. I can't believe I've only just noticed that. The bomb is stuck. They're going to have to go for a proper retake of the site without even having a bomb plant. It's like a reverse scenario from what 4GLORY are used to here. And Levadia, in the meantime, they're just sitting tight and waiting patiently as D is about to walk into Vistas. Deagle, beautifully done. And now the 2v3 ensues after what was just a pistol investment and an embarrassing loss round here for 4GLORY.
Not again. The Beagles are still up in here. They all decided one, already lost. And Spur holds his ground. Now though in 1v1. Two of each other, but the time is not there, and it's Levadia's choice, and Levadia's win of the 10th point. Double digits are here, so at least semi-positive out of the negative half so far. And we can see that they might be grateful and really gracious for anything that comes their way. As we've seen the Eagles up in here, Pit and Sight, getting all those needed kills, and even though 4GLORY got really close to the round, it was not enough time, and yeah, the management of the time is sometimes really interesting thingy. And you've been talking about stacking the bomb. Some guy on Reddit just found that outside of nuke, T-spawn on the right side of the fence, you can stack the bomb and no one will get it. Hopefully no one will try to use it in here, and so if there is any nuke, I would like to advise you not to do that.
I mean, I'd love to see a nuke, though. I don't think I've seen a nuke yet this tournament. I've seen pretty much only Inferno and Mirage. And maybe a Vertigo slipped in there at some point. My goodness, talking about slipping in, AVN glides across the floor like an ice skater. A professional figure skater. Such class, such prowess from Collins as well. Oh my goodness, 4GLORY are back with a vengeance. Absolutely beautiful entering from the pair of destroyers on this Serbian side, or on this Balkan side. Serini taps away towards the Coffins player as well, making sure their dominant presence is known. And, well, ZFX will get a freebie onto Kindo there, but otherwise, what a round there from 4GLORY.
Little Jackson, Shimona, and they've been gone. I don't know how can these people do it. I don't know, I just realized, like, some did this, so I tried to implement it into my cast, and it feels like implementing something that's...
I heard about half of that, I will confess, because your microphone did cut out a little bit. But
no.
Either way, that was a terrifying sound, and 4GLORY almost throw away the round there. They lose 2 players on the hunt. In fact, yeah, they lose 3 players on the hunt there for Levadia. But it is a 14th round in tow, and they do still have money in the back pocket, you're right. But AVN, you saucy little devil, sliding on in and to go for the wall bang as well. You can see he takes his time, wanting to make sure he'll exactly land the timings as Collins lands a great headshot to Vista. And that will be a tactical pause, actually called by 4GLORY, perhaps to talk about their overextensions or just trying to make sure they're amped up enough to secure this map without too much more hassle. Either way, Levadia have a lot on their plates here. They do have a dropped orb as well. I'm imagining Spare will be the one to pick that up. But yeah, 4-round advantage for 4GLORY at this level of scoreline. It is definitely a threatening spot to be in if you're on the CT side.
I feel like the pulse probably wasn't really tactical. It was maybe just to tilt the enemies to give it even longer match than they expected. And sometimes it's like the teams use it really to prove the nerves of the enemies. And of course, they're now around the deficit of 6 rounds. Could be a difference maker if 4GLORY now win the round and don't struggle, even though B8 already really felt the pressure of 4GLORY as they defeated them. I must correct myself. And so B8 are out. First of the Group G. We're still gonna see the second team out. But this one matchup is gonna depend and decide who's going to the next stage, to the playoffs. And let's see. There's been another setup from ZFX and Switcher. 1 flash out, 1 kill maybe needed, but the flash is already from the other side. Mirror things and mirror effects. No kills yet. And the pacifistic side of Levadia tells them, okay, no need to rush. As 4GLORY, probably decided to switch it up, and yeah, the little switcheroo is coming their way up on the top mid.
Oh, well, down goes Spur. Again, Collins, lovely entering from the man. AVN and Collins have been so impactful in this game. And, well, you can tell by the scorelines alone, Kindo now in the opportunity to do the same. Sees the shadow, sees the head, not the frag, though. They're playing a dance around the half-wall as almost a Deagle collateral comes in. So unfortunate, but Sicta gets cornered. D gets Vista. Last alive will be the lone man as Switcher all the way up Banana. He does bag an AK for his troubles, but for how long? And the answer is not very long at all, as Serini sneaks on into the bottom of Banana, catches Switcher off guard, and there's no way he can switch that one up in time to be hot back up into the depths of the site. Lovely stuff again from 4GLORY, and this is what I mean when I say they just have a bit more depth to their strat book, and also they are the better aimers here today. They've proven that time and time again, especially on the back of D. Collins and Serini. And Kindo as well, pretty damn good pistols.
We've seen highs, we've seen lows. Levadia, though, must forget about that and go for more than just one thing. And the only to win this round. 4GLORY running up towards the mid and towards A. Facing their chances, facing their fears of losing this one. It's 5 points, that's still up.
Thankfully, this is the winners matchup, though, so Levadia do still stand a chance of qualification if they can pull themselves together up against the name that I cannot remember how to pronounce. For Serini now. Oh, it's a lovely shot of the ZFX. It's a lovely follow-up. Collins bags 1-2. Sikta last alive. 1v5, ladies and gentlemen. And my goodness, if Sikta can pull this one off, then I will buy a lot of things. But he does land the first, not the second. Took me a moment to think about what I could offer you there, but yeah, it was a